Greetings, Mavericks and new viewers. Tonight, direct and live from the Maverick News Network World Studios. This is Maverick News with Rick Walker.
Welcome back, Maverick family and new viewers from all around the world. Great to have you all here tonight. Lots to unpack. President Trump, 4th anniversary of Abbey Gate, marking that. The Cracker Barrel controversy continues. And Valentina Gomez, U.S. politician, igniting controversy by taking a flamethrower to a Quran. Oh my. And Mark Carney continuing his European tour as Canada pivots toward the EU. Today, we're seeing Canada lean into a possible expansion of trade on the energy front, with exports being eyed toward Germany in the years ahead. And in addition to that, Canada has also made an extended commitment to its efforts toward the Ukraine conflict by extending its presence in Latvia. We'll have the Prime Minister's comments on that coming up right here on Maverick News. Stay with me.
Greetings, brave Mavericks. Our quest for truth continues. We go beyond fake news. Together we expose propaganda. Together we pull others out of rabbit holes. We are Maverick thinkers. We are all unique individuals, defenders of individual rights and freedoms, credible, trusted, grounded in reality. Maverick News, Maverick News. Defending free speech, Donate at freedomreporters.com. Do it now. Tomorrow may be too late. Maverick News. The world is watching.
Also, again tonight, I don't think Rumble Channel 2 is operating. The stream's going out, but I don't think we actually even have a broadcast over there. I'm not sure. I know there's a time delay with the new system, so my apologies to anyone that was planning to watch over on Rumble 2, but that is not, doesn't look like it's happening. Yeah, thanks for the thumbs down, by the way, over on Rumble 2, and to all my lovely haters who aren't even seeing a program yet. Just 2 thumbs down. That's fantastic. Love you guys too. And let's just dig into the news stories of the day and ignore all of that noise. Okay, so first up, where shall we begin? This story surfacing overnight as I was signing off, I took note of it. This is the U.S. politician Valentina Gomez. Do I have the clip? Here we go. I'll play it, and it is igniting a furor online, but this is not the first time she's done this. This is an attention-seeking U.S. politician, and this is what she posted.
Your daughter's
okay. So, yeah, there's that, and then as a result, a lot of other people making gains online. I don't know. Is that your cup of tea? You enjoy watching that kind of thing? I did post it because it is news. A lot of people real happy about that. Especially, well, these guys are pretending to be sad. Maybe not so much.
That doesn't sound like anything at all. Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is the Apostate Prophet. How is everybody doing?
Fantastic day.
How is everybody faring today? David, how do you fare today?
I farest well.
Fare thee well. Yeah. So I just decided to abruptly go live. I was sitting down, was just done with other stuff, then sat down and was looking at my phone. Then I saw somebody rudely
Let it all out, man. Let it all out. Share your feelings with the group, AP.
I saw somebody burning the Quran. So I thought I have to talk about this. How can you burn a book like that? Anyway, so I saw Valentina Gomez burn the Quran, and then I thought, hey, we got to go live talk about this. David, how do you feel about this? Does it make you sad as well?
Not the book burning. Couldn't conceivably care less about that stupid book.
Okay, good. Fantastic. All right, man.
As Tommy Robinson gave the perfect description of it. It's obviously a war manual. It's a manual for taking over the world, but it's all jumbled up and scrambled up. It's like you took a war manual, stuck it in a blender, blended it all up, and then just put everything together once it came out, and not in any particular order and so on. And then it's hard to figure out what it's commanding because stuff is out of order and they have a rule of abrogation and stuff like that. So Tommy called it an encrypted war manual. You have to actually study to know which verses abrogate which verses and stuff like that. And encrypted war manual. This is incredibly heartwarming to see you care so much for that book that you're weeping for it.
Thank you. Yeah. So anyway, so I was resting, just done with stuff, and then I saw that a woman named Valentina Gomez burnt the Quran. And we've seen her before. She's kind of
I think it's Valentina Gomez or something like that.
She's kind of crazy. Some would argue in a good way. Have you heard of her before, David?
Yeah, that I may have heard of her before, but first time I clearly remember her from was where she put on a hijab to go to the Muslim event, and then to get into the microphone because she's got a hijab on, and then she pulls it off and trashes Islam.
Let's watch that.
That was pretty. That was pretty funny. Classic Valentina Gomez.
So she's a pretty edgy a woman from Texas, I believe, who also wants to run for Congress, and who has very, very strong opinions on different things, including Islam. She also has a very, very noticeable accent that makes it all fun, even more fun. But here she is at an event, at a Muslim event. She's in the back with a hijab on her head. And then she approaches the stage suddenly.
Everyone's cheering.
Islam is the religion of rape, incest, and pedophilia, where they bow down to a stupid rock and a false prophet. I will
You can play that 50 times, man. And they start yelling Allahu Akbar. You just wrecked you guys. It's too late for that now. It's too late. You lost. It's okay.
Go back in your page.
go back to your Muslim.
Go back somewhere else. Hey, go back somewhere else.
Try something.
What is this, man?
Okay, so that's that perspective. And then we have this on the, I think they call it the Dean Show.
Unbelievable. Another Quran burner.
Your daughters will be raped and your sons beheaded unless we stop Islam once and for all. We're done turning the other cheek. Remember, David didn't pray for Goliath. He killed them. America is a Christian nation, so those terrorist Muslims can off to any of the 57 Muslim nations. There is only one true God, and that is the God of Israel.
And this comes at the exact same time where Donald Trump just passed a law prohibiting burning the flag.
But when you burn the American flag, it incites riots at levels that we've never seen before. People go crazy.
So the circus clown Gomez wants to declare war on Islam by burning the Quran. Here's a fact for her. If you were to burn every single physical copy of the Quran on earth,
even if you burn every Quran on earth, we will bring it back, cover to cover, page for page.
the Quran would still remain. Why? Because one of the miracles of the Quran is that it's been memorized.
One of the greatest miracles of the Quran is its flawless memorization by millions across the globe.
Word by millions of people alive today. And you cannot say that for any other religious book. Meanwhile, President Donald Trump just signed an order making it a crime to burn the American flag.
But when you burn the American flag, it incites riots at levels that we've never seen before. People go crazy.
Because it could incite violence or riots. Okay, but doesn't burning the Quran do the same? If not worse? So let me ask you, as the leader of this country, should Trump be calling out this hate provocateur, Quran burner, who's spreading anti-Semitism? Because a great number of Muslims are the real Semites. In the Quran, you actually have Semite prophets, biblical prophets. You have the God of Israel on every page of the Quran, alongside with spreading Islamophobia, inciting violence, the same as the flag that he just passed, the law against it. Or if not, far worse, and especially since she's running for Congress while openly breaking the Constitution. Her hypocrisy is unbelievable. She claims to defend freedom, yet she wants to strip religious freedom away from millions of Americans. That's not just hypocrisy, that's un-American. Doesn't she know that the First Amendment protects freedom of religion? But this circus clown wants Congress and doesn't even understand the Constitution she's supposed to uphold. And let's not forget, America's own founders respected Islam. Thomas Jefferson, for example, owned a copy of the Quran. Some of the early leaders, founders, even encouraged Muslims to bring their faith here, to share the Quran, believing it would enrich America. And I discussed this on one of my previous episodes, bringing the evidence and the proof. So burning the Quran isn't patriotism, it's spitting in the face of the American history and founders and values. This is the reality. Muslims make up less than 2% of America. But in her head, we're somehow the number one threat. Not fentanyl, not violent crime, not the corrupt politicians selling out America. Nope, it's your Muslim neighbor. The Muslim doctor, great number of Muslims are doctors in this country, treating your family. The Muslim engineer, building your bridges. The Muslim Uber driver, getting you home safe. They're the scary villain in her movie script. This is delusional. Imagine declaring war on nearly 2 billion people worldwide over a book you've never even read. Now let's flip the script. Imagine if she burned the Talmud. Would Trump's new hate task force against anti-Semitism stay silent? Or would they rush in immediately, cancel this person, hold them to account? Let me know what you think would happen. If she was burning that book, would she get away with it like she's getting away with this? Many people online are seeing right through this. They're speaking out. You can just see the comments. What kind of supposed Christian would behave in this manner? But a fake one, of course, using the religion. And real Christians should condemn this, just like the same way Muslims don't burn the Bible. And if any lunatic person did such a thing, the Muslim community as a whole would condemn this immediately. So we want to see where our Christian friends and neighbors, the voices, to speak out against this. And especially her colleagues there, senators, congressmen, people who are upholding the Constitution, religious freedom, they should be the first ones to be speaking out. Even some of the world's biggest leaders outside of Islam have shown respect for the Quran. For example, Christian Pope John Paul II once kissed the Quran as a gesture of reverence. You have Donald Trump, who just recently visited with President Putin. He also has been seen publicly kissing and holding the Quran with respect. Now compare that to this circus clown who hides behind the name of Jesus, yet acts in a way that Jesus himself would condemn to hell. And in all seriousness, if she doesn't change her ways, repent, and sincerely turn to God, that's where, without a doubt, she'll end up. She's already living hell inside of her own heart. But that's nothing compared to the hellfire she's heading towards. She doesn't change her ways with that nasty tongue, behavior, and hate-filled spirit. So here's the truth, my brothers and sisters in humanity, the people who are genuine, sincere, and they really want to know. We Muslims aren't hiding the Quran. We want you to read it for yourself, and we'll give it to you as a gift. Go visit a mosque. Sit with Muslims. Ask your questions. Don't let the lies and propaganda make you fear what you don't understand. So let me...
Okay. So, oops, hang on. Okay, so there's your two different perspectives on that story. I'll tell you, politics and religion, nothing more inflammatory. You combine them, you've got a powder keg. And that's what happened when she set that Quran on fire. It's not the first time she's done stuff like this. She's known for it. So she is an attention seeker, a clickbait artist, no doubt about it. Opinions on a lot of this stuff obviously are going to vary. Here's one of the most recent online articles about it. Is it sparking controversy online, generating headlines? Here she is, MAGA candidate sparks backlash after burning Quran and promising to end Islam in Texas. Yeah, she's burned books, LGBTQS plus, gay pride stuff. I don't know, just a bunch of things like that. You can just Google her. I will in a moment, actually. Very much opposed to Islam. You know, the thing that came to mind, actually, when I first saw this last night was Lauren Southern, when she was, I think, still with Rebel News. I don't remember what it was that prompted her to do it, but she closed her eyes, made a video, and with makeup of some kind, wrote on her eyelids, F Islam. I remembered that and I thought, whoa, like that's gonna ignite some fires. And that's exactly what we got here with Valentina Gomez overnight. Furious reaction, it says here, to an anti-Islamic campaign ad posted by far-right MAGA congressional candidate in which she sets fire to the Quran with a flamethrower. She's running for Texas in the 31st district in 2026 as a Republican. Yeah, Gomez here. See, I told you. Gomez has a history of posting violent stunts and using hateful rhetoric against Muslims, the LGBTQS plus, however many letters you want to add, community, Black people, and immigrants in an attempt to gain notoriety, to further a flailing attempt at a political career that has so far gone nowhere. Oh, by the way, we are running on Rumble Channel 2. It's just that, I don't know, there's some weird thing with Rumble where they're splitting the channel into two things. And I don't know if we're running like in a way that many people can actually see it. I know we're getting viewers. I can see it, but I'm not sure that it's going out in the usual manner. I don't think it is. It's a whole new system that I'm trying to I'm trying to work out the bugs. So again, I apologize. It is running though. It's up. I just don't know. I can see that we do have a bunch of viewers on there, a whole bunch, but on that feed, but not the usual crowd. I think it is sort of it's many of the people who watch but don't go into the chat. So anyway, yeah. Look. There's a nut. Like, look at this one. Obviously, that's not a real person, but that's pretty shocking. She's like a shock candidate. She's like a shock jock version, a shock politician of a shock jock version. I don't know. Very, very controversial. And, I don't know. Has anybody told her that some people don't like Hispanic people? I wonder if she realizes that she's maybe sometimes on the receiving end of that kind of dislike, to put it mildly. Well, the controversy continues. We'll see more of that in the days ahead. That really set things off. Okay, so as that ties into the culture wars, right? And Donald Trump weighing in on the whole Cracker Barrel logo thing. I don't know if you've heard about it. Probably have. It's making headlines. They changed the logo for Cracker Barrel, and some people freaked out. So Trump on Truth Social saying that the restaurant chain should go back to the old logo. I don't really know what the controversy is all about, to be quite honest. Make Cracker Barrel a winner again, he says. Says Cracker Barrel should go back to the old logo, admit a mistake based on customer response, and manage the company better than ever before, because they took the old guy off the logo, and they just go with the circle thing. That's not a circle. What do you call that? It's an abstract sort of oval sort of shape with Cracker Barrel written in the center. That's their logo. Mine is the old dude. So Trump wrote this social media post on Truth Social. He says they got $1 billion worth of free publicity if they play their cards right. Very tricky to do, but a great opportunity. Have a major news conference today. This is actually going back some hours, I think even to yesterday, but the whole story is still circulating online. Our good friend Joseph Leonard from Detroit writing some sort of an article about it today too. He sent to me, didn't have time to read it, but I know that he's, keying in on this issue as well. Trump added, remember, in just a short period of time, I made the United States of America the hottest country anywhere in the world. 1 year ago, it was dead. Good luck. And Cracker Barrel did issue a statement on its website addressing the new logo, which forgoes the classic illustration of a man known as Uncle Herschel in favor of a simplified logo. And there you can see the logo right there. The old one and the new one. So I guess it's not really the same shape. It's sort of no longer an oval abstract. It's a rectangular abstract. The font is the same. Now you can see the whole B looks a little bit different. And Uncle Herschel is history. At least for now. Trump seems to have a way of influencing what goes on with these companies, though, in an unprecedented way. Also today, cabinet meeting held with the Trump administration, and I found this very interesting. As Howard Nutlick weighed in on the issue of patents. Yeah, he says that the United States federal government is going to start to own a portion of all the patents that are owned by universities. So, again, I go back to, our caller and our friend of the show, sort of, depending on the day, Lori, who calls in once in a while, and he was asking me again, sort of holding my feet to the fire the other night in our call-in portion. Why did you support Trump, and you shouldn't have supported Trump, and I knew Trump was bad news. I'm paraphrasing. From the moment he came down the escalator. And I said, well, Trump 2.0 and Trump 1.0, not the same. It's different. And for me, in Trump 1.0, there were things that I really did like that he was doing, including with the economy, because he didn't go to war with the whole world using tariffs as a sledgehammer. In Trump 1.0, he cut taxes. He reduced government regulations. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Cut taxes, get government out of the way of entrepreneurs. It's paving the way to, in my view at the time, into a freer market within the United States itself, setting up a more efficient, market-driven economy, not so much government control, getting government off the backs of people. I was all for that at the time. Rush Limbaugh, still alive, and I remember his commentaries on all of that. But that's not what we're getting in Trump 2.0. Now he has gone to war with the entire world using tariffs as pretty much his only economic tool, pretty much his main economic weapon, because that's what he's done. He's gone to war with all of the United States trading partners. Bizarre. And as a result, he's claiming, and he has cut taxes, but he hasn't, because a tariff is a tax. So it's fueling inflation in unprecedented ways in the United States, which is increasing prices because the increase in the price is a reflection of a tax paid by the importer in the United States, not the exporting nation to the United States. The supplying nation. It's consumers in the United States who are ultimately going to pay a higher price for a lot of this, and other countries around the world as well. It makes the entire economy less efficient, not just in the United States, but globally. I'm seeing even professors within the last couple of days predicting an economic collapse in the United States as a result of Trump's economic policies. And I've been saying that too. This could actually lead to an economic collapse of the financial system as we've known it, as the United States pulls back. This is what we're seeing. And now today in this cabinet meeting, Howard Lutnick, or Nutlick, whatever you want to call him, he deserves it. If you picked up what I was laying down there. Listen to the tone of this guy too. He's so aggressive and so anti-diplomatic and anti-free market. This is not free market economics. This is entirely different. This is total market control. And it really, these tariffs, these tools, and what we're about to see here from Howard Lutnick and his statement on patents, this is about making everybody come and bend the knee to Trump in the White House. Because if you want to get an exemption of any kind, or even a reduction in these tariffs, you have to go see the man, either at the White House or at Mar-a-Lago. And now, if you get any kind of a government grant or assistance, the public-private partnerships, they're all changing now as well. And Lutnick, as you can see, who is screaming at the top of his lungs as usual in this, he's just losing his mind. He's going manic and crazy. Okay, because we want money. We want to own the patents that are developed at these universities. The intellectual property is ours, spoken just like a true communist.
Patents. We have given tens, if not hundreds of billions of dollars to universities for them to do research. Yep. And they invent things. And you know who owns those patents? The universities. So we are going to make a deal with them all, which is, if we give them the money, don't you think it's fair that the United States of America and the taxpayers who funded it get a piece of that, right? So we wrote a letter to Harvard, so Linda and I working together. I mean, it's so much fun to work with everybody here. I mean, we just have a blast, because Linda's hitting Harvard and she says, what can we do? Now we send him a patent letter and we'll hit him again. So we're having fun together. This is the greatest cabinet working for the greatest president. And I just want to say thank you. I'm having the time of my life working for you, Mr. President. Thank you. Patents.
Okay. Well, I'm not a big fan of government subsidies and handouts to corporations. Government's then picking winners and losers. I'm a very, very much a free market guy. But what this is not the free market. This is not the free market at all. And as a result, there's always a price to be paid when you get government involved in the economy. And this is the price that people are going to end up paying in this administration, Trump 2.0. This is not free market Trump. If he ever really was free market, he was a little bit more free market 1.0. 2.0, he's full on economic control, man. This is a centrally planned economy, not in a true communistic sense, but certainly in a Trumpian tariff sense. It's a rarely, this has been done before, not to this scale, not to this level. This is an experiment. And the price that people are paying already is well, honestly, in the end, you know what the price is that you have to pay? You have to pay for it with, what? What do I hear it? Freedom. Your freedom.
Greetings, brave Mavericks. Our quest for truth continues. We go beyond fake news. Together we expose propaganda. Together we pull others out of rabbit holes. We are maverick thinkers. We are all unique individuals, defenders of individual rights and freedoms, credible, trusted, grounded in reality. Maverick News, defending free speech, Donate at freedomreporters.com. Do it now. Tomorrow, maybe too late. Maverick News. The world is watching. Maverick News. The world is watching.
Okay, so hopefully I'll get that Rumble Channel 2 issue sorted out for tomorrow. I think I know a couple of things that we can do to rectify that problem. See if I can make that work. I did a test broadcast earlier today. Worked fine, but we're also up now on D Live. So we're running over there. And and the Twitch channel doing pretty well. We're making some gains over there. A few more people watching each night. So we're growing, and we'll continue to work at it. Now, on the freedom front, since I mentioned freedom, it's interesting to note, just as a sidebar, passerby, it's a story that we touched on here before. Remember James Bowder, the story about him seeking asylum in the U.S. of A. Well, let me see here. He is, I think I lost his page. I'll bring it back up here. Okay. So he was ordered to be back in court today in Canada. And here it is right here. But he didn't come home. So I think James Bowder's, maybe a little bit of trouble. We'll see. He's got a plan and he's got a lawyer, and he's posting today because he's somewhere between the North Pole and the South Pole in the US of A, he says. And today he says that tomorrow at about 12:30 Eastern time, Canadian court find out if an extradition warrant will be issued due to my refusal to appear in person, or will my trial be adjourned pending my political asylum application in the USA. Of course, James Bowder, involved in the Freedom Convoy, the creator of and promoter of that memorandum of understanding that got the convoy into a lot of the trouble that it got into legally, and was one of the main excuses that the government used to invoke the Emergencies Act. He's down in the States. He thinks that the Trump administration, maybe Trump himself, will give him political asylum. He says that Mr. Lawrence Greenspan, Tamara Litch's lawyer, will appear on my behalf tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern time. And it says here, he says, should the communist judge and Crown proceed with an extradition warrant, a master class in reverse lawfare will take place in a courtroom in the USA by a team of high-profile lawyers, where they will present undeniable evidence proving without a shadow of a doubt that 272 Freedom Convoy participants and organizers, including myself, charged as a result of the unjustified use of the Emergencies Act, are victims of extreme lawfare and political persecution, where the U.S. courts and the U.S. Department of Justice will grant me full political asylum protection. Right there. After which the entire Canadian judicial system will be panicking when they hear a class action lawsuit launched immediately after I'm granted political asylum. #checkmate. And then, of course, he's raising money. Extradition versus asylum process. Push this chart up. Canada request to U.S. for extradition. U.S. review by State Department of Justice. Judicial phase in U.S. federal court. Individual files for political asylum. Secretary of State's final decision. Extradition denied if asylum is pending or granted. Focus for Fox Me. Whatever. I did have James on the program, and I pointed out that what he's doing is in itself a form of political lawfare aimed at the Canadian government and challenging Canada's status as safe destination for asylum seekers, actually, and refugees. And if James is granted political asylum, it would set a political or a legal precedent and a political precedent, and it would undermine Canada as it's our status as a safe nation, and would establish Canada as potentially a threat to the United States. And that makes me think that maybe that's really the ultimate goal here. And I did ask him about that on the program. Strangely, he got upset with me, but when I watched him on some other programs after, they were talking about exactly the same thing. Same information. After I had him acknowledge that really that's where this whole thing was going. It's just that I saw the negative repercussions on our country and what it might ultimately mean. The other streamers were like really expressing the same, well, they're conveying the same information, but he wasn't upset about it with them. So anyway, I'm not in his good graces right now because I told the truth. And he didn't like it very much. But he's welcome to come back on if he'd like to discuss all this further in the days and weeks ahead, because this case, I think, will be just one more that winds its way through the legal system. Oh, systems, both Canada and the United States, as it just puts another layer onto the complications surrounding the whole Trump dream of making Canada the 51st state. It just doesn't end, does it? Nope, it doesn't. Here. Oh, here's something that just doesn't end either, the whole Epstein thing.
And also Donald Trump. Coincidence? Just dumb luck. Right? Another sealed file. That crocodile smile. We did our best, says the DOJ, while the truth just fades away. Another new spin. No one will win except the rich guys with gold ID cards and closets full of secrets behind steel bars. Just a little glitch. A billionaire's privilege. That's the sound of the case. Closed.
Trump saying he's cleaning up D.C. Says people feel safer, although there are reports tonight that not all people in D.C. feel safer. I'm sure we'll hear more about that in the days ahead. And also this, where Trump is saying that he would like to seek the death penalty for murder in Washington, D.C. Let's play it.
Anybody murders something in the Capitol, capital punishment, capital punishment. If somebody kills somebody in the Capitol, Washington, D.C., we're going to be seeking the death penalty. And that's a very strong preventative. And everybody that's heard it agrees with it. I don't know if we're ready for it in this country. But where you have it, it is, we have no choice. So in D.C. and Washington, states are going to have to make their own decision. But if somebody kills somebody, like you could have been killed, very lucky you didn't get killed, it's the death penalty, okay?
So that's the logic. If you kill someone in the Capitol, you get capital punishment. Okay. makes as much sense as just about anything else that I've been seeing come out of the White House of late. Carney continuing his whirlwind European tour. Over the last 24 hours, meeting with the German Chancellor and also the leader of Latvia. He's talking about a new partnership with Germany on critical minerals and energy. Prime Minister's office releasing this statement today. There it is. Canada's new government has a mandate to strengthen and diversify our international relationships, it says here, in the face of shifting global trade landscape. The mandate has only increased in importance. To that end, the Prime Minister, Mark Carney, traveled to Germany to strengthen our trade and commercial ties and build new partnerships in the rapidly growing market for critical minerals. Earlier this year, at the G7 summit in Kananaskis, Alberta, Prime Minister Carney introduced the Critical Minerals Production Alliance, a Canada-led initiative that leverages trusted international partnerships to enhance critical mineral supply chains for collective defense and advanced technology. Today in Berlin, Canada and Germany signed a joint declaration of intent to deepen cooperation to secure critical mineral supply chains, increase collaboration on research and development, and co-fund new critical mineral projects that contribute to a range of industries from electric vehicle manufacturing to defense and aerospace. It goes on. And another big component within this is Canada's LNG supplies, liquefied natural gas, which Germany, I guess, has an eye on. So that is one of the other things they were discussing today in Germany. We have just let me check this here. I'm not sure about this clip, so I'm not going to run it, but I am going to run this. Okay, so definitely Carney and team over in Berlin today commenting on the LNG. Criticism coming from his political opponents because, it's the whole pipelines and ports, lack of infrastructure, how are you going to supply the European market and Germany if you don't have these things in place. But I also noticed that Carney is also pledging massive government subsidies to build up the infrastructure on both, I think both East and West. Anyway, they're investing massive amounts of, I don't want to quote the number. I can't recall off the top of my head. I'm just freewheeling it here, but massive investment that he's committing to improve infrastructure within ports, to build up more ports at Tidewater. So this is all coming, and you can say what you want to say, but Canada is pivoting toward Europe and renewing its commitment to the struggle in Ukraine. Carney here today meeting with the leader of Latvia, and he says Canada is going to extend its NATO mission in Latvia for another 3 years, stopping short again from committing troops on the ground in Ukraine. It hasn't ruled that out, by the way, with comments made, I think, yesterday, which is a step further than Trump certainly has gone, but we're not there, not by any stretch yet. However, another 3 years, another 3-year commitment to the NATO mission in Latvia, and a lot of troops have been trained there as a result of Canada's commitment. Here's Carney speaking alongside the Latvian leader today.
Today, that force, that multinational battle group, and the Prime Minister and I discussed the modalities of this earlier, that group has grown to over 3,500 soldiers from 14 different nations under Canadian leadership. Over 2,000 of those brave women and men are Canadians. It's Canada's largest current contribution to the NATO alliance. And when we look at the current situation, and we discussed this, and I mentioned this when I was in Kyiv a few days ago, we look back at the differences from the years leading up to Latvia's reclaiming of independence. If you recall, the peace efforts of disarmament efforts, I guess I should say, of President Reagan, his slogan at the time was trust but verify. Trust but verify the actions of Gorbachev. Well, Vladimir Putin is not Mikhail Gorbachev. He seeks darkness, not glasnost. He seeks empire, not perestroika. We can't trust but verify with Putin. As we think about the process through the coalition of the willing, we must deter and fortify. And that is the way that we can provide true reassurance. So to that end, it's my honor. I'm very proud, along with David McGuinty, our Canada's Minister of National Defence, to announce that Canada will extend Operation Reassurance, our leadership of that, our commitment here on the ground will extend for 3 more years. The 3 more years is just how we do these things. We extend over 3 years. And we will, in the process, increase the brigade's capabilities here in Latvia, reinforce our collective defense, strengthen our cooperative security, and keep the NATO presence strong. I do want to take this opportunity, Prime Minister, to thank you on behalf of the women and men of the Canadian Armed Forces who are currently serving, but who have served in the past and will serve in the future. You referenced this with some humility, but the hospitality and the experience that they have had means that they do want to stay, they do return, and they are proud to have provided this support.
Okay, so that's what he had to say there. And we're seeing, I saw that there is intent to file a budget finally in October. So minority liberal government, close to a majority, but no minority, filing a budget in October. And we'll see what happens with regard to all of these projects and all of the expenditures that he has said that he is committed to through this new Liberal administration. We'll see if it holds when it comes budget time. And one of the reasons, the main reason I think you haven't seen a budget so far is because they are in a minority government situation. He's trying to bring some stability to his government. In other words, trying to avoid a vote of confidence in the House. Budget, always a vote of confidence. If the budget is defeated, it could trigger an election, which I know he doesn't want. I'm not sure Canadians want an election right now either, after having been through some in recent years and just having gone through one. So I think it is something that he would like to, obviously, to avoid. We'll see what happens in October, but anytime a budget is tabled, if it's defeated, it instantly triggers a vote of confidence. So keep your eyes peeled, your ear to the ground, and your antenna up. Trump today issuing a proclamation on the 4th anniversary of the attack at Abbey Gate. Let's just going to play this from his Truth Social post, self-explanatory for anybody who remembers that. Here's his post.
Thank you very much. This is a very special group of people. I've been with them from the beginning. Abbey Gate, it's a 4-year anniversary. So we're signing a proclamation honoring them and honoring you and honoring your loved one.
These families deserve answers. We're going to be honest about it. We're going to get to the bottom of it.
And I know from this president as he's made a commitment that memory will not be forgotten.
We're so proud of you. We're so proud of your loved ones for giving their life for our country. This is a rectification of a wrong. We correct that wrong today, and we're going to keep on fighting to understand, as Pete said, what happened so it never happens to another family again. But God love you all. God bless you. We're so thrilled to have you here in the People's Oval Office.
Yeah. 4th anniversary of the attack. That's in Afghanistan. Okay. Here's another post, and it's going to tie into something else I'm just going to comment on in the chat. Before I comment on what's going on in the chat, actually, I think I have it here. There it is. There's Trump's post on Truth Social here. Interesting. He says, as president of the United States, I will stand up to countries that attack our incredible American tech companies. Digital taxes, digital services legislation, and digital markets regulations are all designed to harm or discriminate against American technology. They also outrageously give a complete pass to China's largest tech companies. This must end, and end now. With this truth, I put all countries with digital taxes legislation, rules, or regulations on notice that unless these discriminatory actions are removed, I, as President of the United States, will impose substantial additional tariffs on that country's exports to the USA and institute export restrictions on our highly protected technology and chips. America and American technology companies are neither the piggy bank nor the doormat of the world any longer. Show respect to America and our amazing tech companies, or consider the consequences. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Who's he protecting? These tech companies, yeah, I guess they sort of are American-based, but they're international. They're multinational corporations. They're in countries all around the world. To view them as strictly American companies, not really a proper analysis of the economics surrounding it. And this brings me back to what I'm seeing in the chat here. Dragon, using that word again, technocracy. It ties into that, actually. Dragon, what Trump is talking about there in a way. And I think we'll be commenting more on that in the days ahead. So I'm going to be giving you a phone call, my friend, so we can have a further discussion on that very subject, because we have talked about it before, and I'm thinking that it might just warrant further examination here on the program. Here locally too, just over last night, Tent City, the one that I brought you into. I did interviews over there a couple of weeks ago. Issue still raging here in my community, as that issue is certainly front and center in communities across Canada and the United States, in many, many, many cities. And last night, a big council meeting, it went on and on for hours. Far after we were off the program here, it was still going on. They ultimately came up with a new bylaw saying that these tents have to stay at least 25 meters away from any established residential properties. They wanted it 100 meters, and yet they indicated at the municipal council meeting here that there isn't even a place within the city limits that they could do that, because they couldn't find a place anywhere in the city to move this tent city, which is just blocks from where I live. Couldn't find any place to move it because that was at least 100 meters away from some sort of a residential property. I don't know if that's even true, but that's what they said. As a result, this people are up in arms here. People were at the meeting for hours and hours last night. These issues really, really resonating across the country. The housing crisis, immigration, pressure on the economy, inflation, homelessness, drug addiction, social issues. It just isn't ending. It seems to just be getting worse, and it's right here in my backyard. I'll tell you, the people over there, I guess some people have complained. Personally, I've not experienced any difficulty with them. They pretty much kind of just keep to themselves over there. But I know there are a lot of social issues. Drugs, big problem. Drug addiction, definitely. It makes people unable to function and be productive members of the community. Also, tonight, as we kind of get into this other leg of the broadcast, I don't really like talking about celebrity news, but I guess I have to acknowledge it tonight because Taylor Swift is gonna get hitched. Yeah. She's getting married. I thought maybe we'd do a little Twitter scroll here. What's going on with Taylor Swift? So her football hero is, I guess he proposed, gave her a great big honking ring. It's all the rage on mainstream media tonight. It's actually the lead story in many places. I am not really a Swiftie because I'm not a teenage girl. Oh, I don't know if that's fair. I can't. The music just isn't aimed at me. And I think that the whole thing is very careful and effective marketing. The Taylor Swift phenomena. It's, let's see here. There we go. Let's scroll down and see what's going on. Taylor Swift and baby, that's show business for you. New album, The Life of a Showgirl, out October 3rd. How convenient. And Good Morning America featuring this. And this is on X. Today was a fairy tale. Good Morning America. It's a love story. I don't understand people who say that she's not attractive or people who say that she just looks very kind of plain. And I don't think so. I think she's very, she looks very much like a model to me. And there's a picture of the ring. Oh my, I don't know. What is it? Is it a football? I can't make it out. Her beau is a football hero guy. It's just such like a high school fairy tale romance thing come to life through the world of entertainment. Parody account, how it started. That's a parody account. I'm so happy for my close and personal friend, Taylor Swift. Screaming child. What do you guys think? What's going on in the chat over there? Anybody a big Taylor Swift fan? Yeah, I don't even like Dragon. I'm just reading your comments again about techno. I don't really know why you're so focused on it, but it's an interesting subject. We'll have a broader discussion about it. He's been really digging into technocracy. Yeah, there she is. Retweet if you stand with Taylor Swift against Donald Trump. Politics. There you go. Now, see, you have religion, you have politics, and you have entertainment. Oh, and sports, music. What more? The culture wars, all converging with the Taylor Swift engagement to her football hero, who is also her dancing partner. I'll tell you. I didn't even, I'd be quite honest, I didn't want to come on and do the program tonight. There are some nights like that. I just didn't want to, because when I saw Valentina Gomez set that Quran on fire, I just didn't want to get into the middle of another firestorm. I'm just tired, so tired of people fighting, so tired of people intentionally going around picking fights, creating a crisis, exploiting people, manufacturing a crisis so they can offer a solution, and manipulating all of us. That's what a lot of politicians do. This is a politician. I don't know if she's ever even been elected. Has she? I'm going to look it up. I think she, in the last time she ran, I believe she came in 4th. And, you know, just because you get a lot of clicks doesn't mean a lot of the people looking at you or watching you agree with you. Probably half the people hate you. Hey, I can relate. Let me just see here. I'm not sure how many times has she run for office? She's running in the primary against GOP incumbent John R. Carter, who's been in office since 2003. Carter won his last election with nearly 65% of the vote, and she's one of 9 candidates challenging Carter in the primary. It is considered a long shot. So she's looking for attention. I don't know what her real game is here, because often with these politicians, they're not really in it to win it. They're in it to get attention, draw attention to particular issues, maybe to make a living with donations. I'm not sure. But she's certainly in the MAGA camp. She says, when I'm Secretary of State, I will burn all books that are grooming, indoctrinating, and sexualizing our children. MAGA, America First, is what she posted along with that video. Here, bring it up again. Show you. Thing is, I don't like book burnings, period. I just don't like book burnings. You're burning ideas. You're burning, in this case, someone's deeply held religious convictions. And yeah, you know what? You're picking a fight. You are picking a fight. I'm just not sure it's the most constructive way to deal with issues, but I'm pretty sure it's not. You do something like that and yeah, you're igniting a firestorm. All for what? Piece of clickbait? That's why tonight's thumbnail was clickbait hellfire. Nation needs to heal. We need to find a way forward. A lot of people real upset. Don't think straight when you're angry. Keep your head screwed on straight, Mavericks. Heads, collective heads. Keep your heads screwed on straight. Stay grounded. Don't let your actions be ruled by your emotions. Think rationally. Make wise decisions. Always use your superpowers for good, never for evil. And with that, I'm going to cut things a little bit short tonight. I hope things are better tomorrow. They won't be. We're in the thick of it. We're in the middle of it all. These are the early days of this strange global war that we're immersed in. But there are brighter days ahead. We're going to make it. Love you guys. See y'all tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern, on the flip side.
free dog. He's a free dog. He's a free dog. He's got the stars in his eyes, the wind in his fur, a tail that wags like it's never heard of a blur. Cosmos on a journey, he's got no chains. He's running through fields, breaking all the lanes. Now the night's getting cold and the sky's turning gray, but Cosmos still out there, he's miles away. He's not looking back, he's got his path to tread. With every step, he's leaving his bed. If I leave here tomorrow, would you still remember me? Cosmos free, running wild, wild as a wind can be. He's a free dog, he's a free dog, he's a free dog. So if you're feeling lost, just think of Cosmos Run. Remember his spirit, his freedom, his fun. And maybe one day, when you're feeling low, you'll find your own freedom and let your spirit go. If I leave here tomorrow, would you still remember me? Cosmos free, running wild, wild as a wind can be. He's a free dog, he's a free dog, he's a free dog. In his eyes, the wind in his fur, a tail that wags like it's never heard of a bird. A heart full of love and a spirit so free. He's living his life wild and carefree. He's got the stars in his eyes, the wind in his fur, a tail that wags like it's never heard a blur. Cosmos on a journey, he's got no chains. He's running through fields, breaking all the lanes.
This has been a Maverick Multimedia production.